Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Pisces July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, first thing up is as far as July goes, the sun will be in Cancer from the 1st until the 23rd. So the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on love, romance, perhaps superficial flings, children, gambling, speculation, personal popularity, investments, fun, amusement, enjoyment, and creative endeavors, even entertainment. Now, in sports in some cases as well. Now, given this is Cancerian energy, this may be done with a lot of tenacity, a lot of emotion, a lot of sensitivity, devotion, dedication, diligence, a lot of protective energy, and especially perhaps with matters with children and lovers, and also with a lot of a lot of care and with a lot of safety and security as well for those reasons. Now, given in some cases, this might shine the light, so to speak, on a temperamental or moody child or lover, and it's also at this time too. I mean, you could be looking at this again. These matters, these fifth house matters, can be done again with a lot of that Cancerian like dedication and diligence, and a lot of that care and devotion, and a lot of the safety and security can be connected with fifth house people. It might even be somebody, could be somebody even you're in a superficial fling with in some cases. So anyway. Next thing up, the sun will be in Leo as far as July goes from the 23rd until the 31st, so the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on health, employment, the daily routine, diet, fitness, an aunt and uncle, even pets, service, even worry in some cases. Now, given this is Leo energy, this may be done with a lot of pride, a lot of dignity, a lot of self-assuredness and confidence, and a lot of perhaps attention-seeking energy as well, perhaps even a flamboyant manner as well, and done with a lot of good-naturedness and a lot of generosity and magnanimous energy, especially perhaps with an aunt or an uncle, or even people that you might provide some kind of service to. A lot of that Leo ferocity it may be done with as well. Now, in some cases, this could shine a light, so to speak, on a Leo health related matter, such as something with the heart or the upper back. And especially if it's at a time when it's making an inconjunct to your ascendant, or even an adverse aspect to your natal, perhaps your natal Mars at this time, or even the sun as well. Sometimes this could signify an eye issue, maybe depending on gender. The sun rules the left or right eye depending on gender, and it could be something where it could be like a very fiery situation, like, because Leo is a fire sign. It might be a burning sensation in eye, and it might be something that you might dramatize, or it could be something on a very large scale, because Leo doesn't really do anything in small doses. It's a lot like Sagittarius that way. So anyway. The next thing up is there will be a new moon solar eclipse in Cancer July 2nd, in the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, this could manifest perhaps in the some cases the birth of a Cancerian child. Of course, it would be a Cancer sun and moon, given that takes place at this time when the sun and moon would be in Cancer. In some cases, too, when you're talking about a new moon solar eclipse in astrology, it could be about the departure of a dominant male. It could be a Cancerian dominant male. It could be a Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Cancerian traits. It could be somebody that might have, maybe you had maybe it was a lover or somebody you had a romantic connection with. Sometimes it could be a child. In some cases, somebody you might have shared a creative endeavor with for a protracted period, or a person that you were involved in an investment with for a sustained time, and perhaps it ends at this point in time. Could also be perhaps, or I'm sorry, not when this. Well, I'm not saying that. Well, the person you would be connected with in that investment maybe departs from your life, is what I'm saying. Um, this could be something where another way this may manifest, it could be a beginning of really tenacious of some kind of investment that you pursue with a lot of tenacity, or it could be the start of a Cancerian type investment, such as something with maybe some stock connected with cooking or restaurant or a fast food outlet, or anything that could be Cancerian related, something with laundry or something maybe with homes, or maybe, or it could be where you might maybe do something where maybe maybe you might start something to maybe tenacious gambling in some isolated cases, and it might be in something you feel at home with. Now, it could also just simply be the start of nurturing children and lovers and showing that unequivocal Cancerian love toward them, especially if this is something that you hadn't done for a very long period, and it might be something that you start that could be very life altering by maybe expressing that energy in that manner. And it could also be where you might start maybe some kind of Cancerian sport, which could be, some, for example, something like swimming, diving, rafting, water polo. And it might, for example, lead to a significant maybe connection with somebody, and it could be something that could be very sustained for you. And it could also be the start of a very safe and secure investment at this time. And perhaps it's something that could pay dividends to you for a very protracted period, and also maybe persistently working toward improving personal popularity, showing untiring persistence in that. And it could be something where maybe you've been very introverted for a very long period, and this is the time where you begin to show some dedication and devotion toward doing something to really increase your popularity. And it could lead to life altering, perhaps connections and maybe opportunities. So anyway, well, the next thing up is there will be a full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn on July 16th. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, when you're talking about eclipses in astrology, again, it could be about the departure of a dominant person in your life. In this case, it could be, given it's a lunar eclipse, dominant Capricorn female. Perhaps it could be a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Capricorn traits. It could be somebody that maybe was a friend to you for a sustained period, maybe even a stepchild. It could be maybe somebody that was in some group, club, or organization, or a business connection you had in some organization, and maybe it comes to an end at this time. Also, too, this could manifest in some cases as like a self-revelation, perhaps, of perhaps of that maybe you had something where something was really inhibiting you in terms of maybe your friendships and maybe group situations, and maybe you become cognizant that a lot of this was attributed to self-sabotage, and maybe even matters with aspirations and goals, and maybe you were too timid and you were limiting yourself in this matter, and it could just have been tied in to perhaps being overly negative or pessimistic. Now, in some cases, this could simply be the completion or culmination of a Capricorn goal or aspiration. It could have been something you were working at very laboriously, very consistently for a very prolonged period. It could have been something, for example, connected with becoming a dentist, something with business or politics, the government, even information technology in some cases, something with timekeeping, anything that could be Capricorn related. And it would also be a time where you might maybe just leave, or maybe some kind of Capricorn group, club, or organization. It could be something like a business or political group, something with dentistry, anything. You might have just been a group that you gave a lot of serious attention and time to, and perhaps at this point in time you just decided that enough is enough, and maybe it might be actually be signify the beginning of something else in a new period in your life. Now, also too, Full moons in astrology can often be about when one becomes tired, exasperated, and full of something. And given that this is a full moon solar eclipse, it could be on a very high scale, and it could be something that might have life-altering implications. This could be a time where perhaps you become very tired, full, or exasperated. Perhaps maybe a friend, an acquaintance, someone in a group, club, or organization, even a stepchild that might be overly undemonstrative, cold, callous, somebody that's just about ruthless ambition and about all the self-protection about themselves and about their own interests taking precedence over others. And it might be a time where you finally really just lash out and verbally and just let them know what time of day it is and what's going on. So anyway, hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Next thing up, Mercury will be in Leo as far as July goes, from the 1st until the 19th. So the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, this could be a time where you might simply be dominating conversations more in your daily routine with an aunt and uncle, perhaps somebody you're involved in a service-related situation with. Sometimes this could manifest in dramatic breathing issues, maybe yelling too loudly, maybe there's some loud, boisterous arguments. I don't know if that's actually possible, but they could just be, it could be something that could be on a very high scale and might cost you an exorbitant amount of money, because Leo energy could be very extravagant. As I've stated previously, Mercury can also be about siblings. I mean, this could be about Leo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Leo traits that might be, might be people that might be, as far as helping you maybe in your daily routine, that they might be factoring more in your daily routine in a service related matter, perhaps maybe in your work, your employment, your health. Could also be about very like know-it-all, arrogant neighbors, because Mercury can also be about neighbors that might be telling you what you think you need to know regarding your health, your employment, fitness, diet. Could also be something too where maybe creative writing could really play a role in something work related at this time. You might find yourself also boasting and bragging about service you do rendered, and also in what you're doing as far as your work life, your health at this time. So anyway, next thing up, Mercury will be in Cancer as far as July goes, from the 19th until the 31st. So at this time, the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. It will be retrograde. Now, it could be about where you may be communicating about past hurts regarding matters with lovers, with children, maybe things of a speculative nature that didn't go well, and maybe a lot of brooding about this and a lot of reminiscing and contemplating, perhaps maybe something connected with it, maybe an investment you may have thought about previously, and now you're kind of going back to it considering Mercury being retrograde. As I've stated before, Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Cancerian traits that might figure perhaps strongly in your fun, your amusement, your enjoyment, perhaps matters with sports even. Perhaps it could be just general fun activities, maybe in your love life to some degree. Maybe they're more actively involved with children if you do have any. And you might be contemplating about maybe something of a speculative nature, something connected with investments. You might be talking about the past, maybe sports activities you were involved in, or moments with sports, even if it was just watching them on TV. This could also be about talking with family and people prominent in your home life, perhaps about attaining personal popularity, things of a speculative nature, things you can do for fun at this time. And also, it could be a time where you might be connect yourself with maybe a younger lover, considering this is Mercury if you're unattached, and maybe somebody that you might want to share a home with, and you feel at home with, perhaps. So Next thing up, Venus will be in Gemini as far as July goes from the 1st until the 3rd, so the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, if you're unattached at this time, Pisces, you may connect with a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Gemini characteristics. It could be perhaps somebody that maybe you feel strongly at home with, somebody that's prominent in your home, your family, your home life. This could be something too where you might want to spend the latter part of your life with. So this could be a very significant period, especially, I mean, if you're unattached at this time. Now, given to this could also be about maybe spending money as fast as you earn it on maybe getting in touch with your roots and ancestry, such as like going on to ancestry.com or doing something where anything that you might have to spend money to maybe find out about your roots and your ancestry. You might also be enamored and love your Gemini qualities, perhaps at your core, such as being very vivacious, perhaps versatile, diversified, even more loquacious than maybe you might have been originally cognizant of, very amiable qualities, and anything that could be Gemini and your eloquence. And anyway, could also be about loving Gemini traditions at this time as well, and it could be connected with communication or doing something with the hands, whether it could be sculpting or doing auto repair, perhaps. It could be anything. It could be going to maybe a computer expo or anything that could be Gemini related. It could also be about valuing conversation and communication, and perhaps even variety at the latter or end part of your life, especially if you're currently in that phase. Last but not least, Venus will be in Cancer as far as July goes from the 3rd until the 18th, so the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, you might find yourself perhaps connecting, if you're unattached at this time, Pisces, you may connect with a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Cancerian traits. It could even be just for a superficial fling, or somebody that you really enjoy, maybe some kind of hobby or creative endeavor with. This could also manifest perhaps in tenacious spending, perhaps on something that's hobby related. It could be if you're getting involved with some kind of sport, might be spending money maybe on equipment or what have you. It could be sports equipment. It could also, in some cases, be careful. It could be about hoarding money, perhaps for things that are connected with your fun, your amusement, enjoyment, perhaps matters with children. And also it could be about valuing sympathy, empathy, safety and security, protectiveness, and even introversion with matters with lovers, with children, perhaps people that you share some kind of creative hobby, creative endeavor with or hobby with as well. And also maybe the enjoyment of Cancerian type sports such as rafting, canoeing, swimming, water polo, anything that could be Cancer related. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Pisces July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. And stay tuned next time. I'll be giving you my Pisces July 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.